primetime destination news, newsmakers, talking points. The big talking point, Sachin Pilot is on the street. Will this Pilot versus Gehlot long-running battle now finally sink the Congress in Rajasthan? High command weak, netas at war. Also, the Amul MD joins us in an exclusive on Karnataka's utterly milk war. But first, as always, it's time for the 9 headlines at 9. The BJP gets set to release finally its first list for Karnataka. Ishwarappa to retire from active politics. Former Chief Minister Shettar says he's been asked to step aside as the BJP moves in for generational change. The milk war continues to simmer in Karnataka. Amul's MD speaks to India today, insists Amul is not competing with state cooperative. Nandini says they will work together with whichever government is in power. In Rajasthan, Congress leader Sachin Pilot holds a day-long dharna saying that the Gehlot government has not acted against corruption of the Vasundhara Raje government. Congress accuses Pilot of anti-party activities. Pressure builds on both sides to take a step. Disqualified MP Rahul Gandhi leads a yatra in his constituency of Wayanad, launches an attack on the centre, says they can jail me but they can't block the truth. Sonia Gandhi writes an editorial slamming the centre, says Modi has destroyed the pillars of democracy. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the US slams a Slander India campaign, says Muslims in the country are safe. Enforcement Directorate heat bills on Bihar Deputy Chief Minister Tejashwi Yadav in a lands for jobs scam. ED grills him over alleged 600 crore proceeds of crime. Gangster Atiq Ahmed taken to Prayagraj from Sabarmati jail in Umesh Pal murder case with 30 police escorting him. Atiq claimed there's a plot to kill him. Bitcoin breaches the $30,000 mark for the first time since June 2022 as the crypto market recovers more than 80% this year. And India Today and Aaj news director Rahul Gandhi wins a Managing India Award for outstanding contribution to media at the AIMA Awards. Kumaramangalam Birla awarded Business Leader. But our top story tonight. The Congress is fighting battles on two fronts now. Rahul Gandhi was in Wayanad, his former constituency in Kerala, holding a road show along with his sister Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. This is his first visit to Wayanad since his disqualification as an MP. But the road show was overshadowed by Sachin Pilot's protest in Rajasthan, where the Congress leader held a hunger strike against effectively the Ashok Gehlot government, accusing the Gehlot government of not doing enough against corruption scams involving former Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje. Clearly, while the Congress looks to build and revive itself after Rahul Gandhi's disqualification, the party's factional fights are showing no signs of ending. Where does all this leave the grand old party? What lies ahead of Sachin Pilot? It's our top story tonight.
The Congress battles a potential revolt in poll-bound Rajasthan. In a short but symbolic fast against corruption, former Deputy Chief Minister Sachin Pilot has shone the light on his years-old rift with Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. He accused Gehlot of shielding BJP leader Vasundhara Raje in corruption allegations against her.
वसुंधरा जी के कार्यकाल में जो तमाम खटपट घोटाले हुए, जिन घोटालों को भ्रष्टाचार को उजागर करने के लिए हम लोग सड़कों पर उतरे, जेलों में गए, हमने आंदोलन किए और अब जब हम सरकार में हैं और 4 साल से ज़्यादा का समय बीत गया, मैं उम्मीद करता था अब तक कार्रवाई होगी, लेकिन कार्रवाई हुई नहीं। इसलिए आज मैंने उस सरकार के करप्शन जो मामले थे उन पर कार्रवाई हो, इसको लेकर आज अनशन रखा है।
Sachin Pilot went ahead with his dharna despite a clear warning from the Congress High Command. Pilot was not only warned that the fast was against the Congress's interests, but that it would also amount to anti-party activity. While Chief Minister Gehlot has maintained silence on Pilot's attacks on him, the party is finding itself divided on the issue.
अरे जो भी बात है वो घर में होनी चाहिए ना, घर से बाहर नहीं होनी चाहिए। अब आप मुझसे पूछ रहे हो तो वो भी मैं वही गलती करूं जो कोई और कर रहा है। अगर मेरे मन में कोई बात होगी तो मैं मुख्यमंत्री जी से अवश्य मिलूंगा, कहूंगा, वो मेरे मित्र हैं, दोस्त हैं, हम उनका सम्मान करते हैं। अगर कुछ पार्टी के हित में होगा तो मैं उनसे कहूंगा।
He is on hunger strike not against Mr. Gehlot, for an inquiry against Vasundhara Raje ji. He is raising an issue regarding corruption of Vasundhara Raje and her government. That is not anti-party.
Even as speculation builds up on Sachin Pilot's next move, prominent Jat leader Hanuman Beniwal has offered an alliance with Pilot if he forms a new party.
हम मजबूती से लड़ेंगे चुनाव। हमने एक बात पहले ही कह रखी थी कि पायलट अगर अलग पार्टी बनाते हैं तो आरएलपी उनसे गठबंधन करेगी, और नहीं बनाते हैं तो वो अपनी जान है। मैं सलाह ही तो दे सकता हूँ किसी व्यक्ति को, भाई मैंने सलाह दे दी।
The political drama in Rajasthan has embarrassed the Congress big time. Sachin Pilot's fast happened on the day Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra took out a roadshow in Rahul's former constituency, Wayanad. The show of strength was overshadowed by the developments in Rajasthan. Rajasthan, Karnataka, Chhattisgarh. The Congress's infighting wars do not seem to end. Will Congress act against Pilot or turn a blind eye? Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's turn then to our top talking point. Is the Congress just lurching from one crisis to another? Does a weak high command mean that the party is badly divided? Will Pilot versus Gehlot sink the Congress in Rajasthan? What will it take to end this battle between the two leaders? Is there effectively a generational battle that's taking place within the Congress? These are some of the questions I will raise. Anil Antony, BJP leader, was still a few days ago with the Congress. I spoke to him a little while ago. He'll join us. Javed Ansari, senior journalist who's tracked the Congress for years. Sanjay Jha, political analyst, joining us. We hope to be joined by T.S. Singhdeo, the Chhattisgarh minister also. But let's come first to you, Sanjay Jha, because you've been a great supporter of Sachin Pilot. You've even gone to the extent of saying Mr. Pilot could be a potential future face of the Congress. And here he is staging a dharna against his own government effectively and being accused in a way of anti-party activity. Where does this leave Sachin Pilot? He seems at the moment as a leader who's got nowhere to go.
Rajdeep, the simple problem is that procrastination is never a political strategy. When you have the writing on the wall, you have two formidable political leaders in a public conflict, then to assume that you can airbrush it or expect some divine intervention to bring about the end to the problems is being rather preposterous. And I think the Congress is paying the price, and I would say regretfully doesn't seem to be learning from some past disasters like Punjab, and they allow these situations to actually become volcanic, and it just erupts in their face. And this is, by the way, a very critical election coming up in Rajasthan. So the simple answer is that what is Sachin done today, Rajdeep? Sachin is basically making a very significant statement. He's saying that political corruption of the opposition, which is the BJP, is something that the government of the day, which is led by Mr. Gehlot, is not really actively working on. And that by itself is actually going against the manifesto promise. So what he's doing is what I would call is very strategic and smart politics, because Mr. Gehlot has been very publicly, against the option of Sachin becoming the chief minister. But the truth is this, Rajdeep, that if those people who say that this is an anti-party activity, I mean, they have to look in the mirror, because if Mr. Gehlot's insurrection of his own MLAs during the time of the Congress president election was not an anti-party activity, then how can Sachin sitting on a fast and asking for action against the BJP on corruption be deemed as anti-party? I think the simple, straightforward answer to you is that the Congress leadership now under Mr. Kharge, I was expecting that they would move quickly to troubleshoot it. To just kind of defer it from one day to another, 1 month to another is intriguing, incongruous and unforgivable.
It really reflects in a way the fact that sometimes in politics, and particularly in the Congress party, not taking a decision is seen as a decision. Javed Ansari, is this a sign of a weak high command that is unable to enforce its writ over two leaders who've been fighting with each other for the last 5 years. It's not as if this started with the dharna today. For the last 5 years, Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot have been at war with each other.
Undoubtedly, Rajdeep, there is no denying the fact that the Congress High Command's writ does not run beyond Delhi. Because they are unable to win elections or make or mar the fate of the party, and therefore very few people either fear them or are willing to listen to them. They are at the moment caught between a rock and a hard place. They wanted to remove Gehlot a couple of months back. He literally rebelled, and now they can't force the pace because they're scared he will split the party. It's Sachin Pilot, who the initial error was made in denying Sachin Pilot his due. He had worked hard, put in the hard yards, and somebody else came and reaped after the results and became the chief minister. He now believes that he should be given his due. He was promised his due, but the High Command is unable to deliver.
No, but the majority of the MLAs remain with Mr. Gehlot, Javed Ansari. The majority of the MLAs remain with Mr. Gehlot. So Mr. Gehlot could turn around and say, why should I leave the chief minister's chair?
Rajdeep, once you become chief minister, you have the means to consolidate. And this is what happened. This was not the story when the government was formed 5 years ago in Jaipur. He became chief minister not on the support of the MLAs, but courtesy some of his friends, powerful friends, in and around the Central High Command.
Okay, interestingly, let me at this moment go to T.S. Singhdeo. Remember, he is the Chhattisgarh minister who was hoping to be made chief minister by the Congress. Bhupesh Baghel remains in the chair, 6 months to go to Chhattisgarh as well. T.S. Singhdeo, we were told that there was a promise made to you also, as Sachin Pilot claims there was a promise made to him by Rahul Gandhi. He would be made chief minister at some stage, and so would you. How do you see what's happening in Rajasthan? Is it that the High Command, as Javed Ansari says, cannot enforce its writ anymore outside Delhi?
Good evening, Rajdeep ji, and good evening to all the panelists and viewers. For one, I have never maintained that there was any promise made. Whatever is discussed behind closed doors, it has a sanctity, and that privacy has to be maintained, and it must be maintained. The Congress party has never taken out any statement regarding that. So I will not say that there were promises made, but there were possibilities. I was certainly one of the 4 people who were asked to come to Delhi before the selection of the chief minister. And since then, the media has, it is true, been carrying this matter of 2.5 years each. And it has been very trying for me to meet up with the expectations of those who were probably expecting me to have the chance of working as the chief minister. And that is where things lie. The 2.5 period is certainly over. We have 8 months to go now for the elections. 6 months, less than 6 months before the code of conduct is enforced. So that is where the matter lies.
Do you empathize with Sachin Pilot, who claims that he deserves his due? Somewhere, let's be honest, you also feel you could get more. He also feels you could get more. Do you feel that the High Command needs to be more decisive, whether it's Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh?
It is not for me to comment on the High Command. I cannot have the temerity to comment on the High Command. I have to maintain limits of discipline and propriety. But there are these issues, and we have in charges in the states, and I feel that they are the ones who foremost should make sure that these sort of situations don't degenerate into issues where Jyotiraditya left the Congress party, the entire government in Madhya Pradesh fell. And that apart from the issue of the High Command, I also sincerely feel and genuinely feel that it is for us at the state level, or whichever level we work, whether it is the polling booth or the block level or the district level, it is for us to ensure, not put everything on the heads of the High Command, that whatever is to happen, the High Command will do it. We are responsible members of the party. We have to ensure equations between us remain workmanlike. Right. And there are no occasions where fingers could be pointed that these people are fighting for whatever.
In a way, this is also being seen as a generational issue. And I want to take that to Anil Antony, the son of A.K. Antony, who, remember, only last week left the Congress and joined the BJP. Anil was a young social media cell representative of the Congress. Anil, is this a generational issue? A younger generation in the Congress getting impatient because, well, all of you are the sons and children of politicians, and many of you believe you are entitled immediately to be given posts and positions as your parents got. In your case, A.K. Antony, in Sachin's case, Rajesh Pilot. Is this a generational battle, a battle between those who feel that they are entitled to become, to get leadership positions in what is seen by some as a dynastical party?
See, Rajdeep, again, like I previously mentioned, this is not about any positions. This is not about any titles. This is a question of, this is not about any parliamentary titles. This is not about any of these things. I'm talking about a scenario within a party where so many stalwarts who had contributed decades, 3, 4, 5 decades, to a couple of decades, to people who have just started, they all feel that inside the party, you are not having a scenario where people with certain kind of skill sets, people with certain kind of experiences and even thought processes cannot function because they are not required in the party. Because right now what the party requires are a bunch of other kind of people whose only job should be to forward the interest of 1 or 2 individuals in certain manner and not on any broad causes. So I'm sure I can't speak for Sachin. Sachin will have to do it himself. And I can't speak for the Congress party also. I left the party. But I can sympathize with what Sachin is feeling because I don't think this is a case of a CM-ship or anything like that. He was the deputy CM. He was the PCC president. He resigned from these roles. But if you if you dispassionately analyze such a scenario, this is actually, I would say, maybe one of the rare leaders who are left in the party, who are in their 40s, late 40s, who has some kind of national standing. And do you think that somebody like that has been used in any manner which is befitting his stature or his capability? No, like what I have seen.
You know, in a way you're saying that the party doesn't recognize talent or merit. Sanjay Jha, someone who was suspended from the Congress, who claims he is a congressman by heart, by soul, by spirit. Do you agree with Anil Antony somewhere with what he just said? That the Congress doesn't know how to recognize talent and merit. Shashi Tharoor contests against Mallikarjun Kharge. What next? He loses and he's virtually been pushed to the sidelines. He's not seen anymore as a frontline leader campaigning out there for your party, let's say in Karnataka as a star campaigner. All the attention seems to be around Rahul Gandhi. The images that we have seen today in Wayanad, it's all about how do we ensure the reinvention, the resurrection of Rahul Gandhi, not how do we reward other talent right along the line. Other people who may be in their 40s and 50s, who may be just as talented, capable, not being given a break.
Rajdeep, I'm ideologically Congress. I believe the Congress represents the idea of India. And no matter what my problems with the Congress, I can never join any other political party. I'm making it public on your program. But, you know, the reason why I think the Congress struggles, why an Anil Antony leaves or some other people in the party are disgruntled is only one reason. I think the Congress has forgotten to respect its talent. And I can tell you what distinguishes one TV channel from another. Why is one corporate better than the other? Why is one political party better than the other? It's the people that you have. I remember Mr. Dev is here on the show as well. Anil is here as well. In 2014, we got whacked out in the general elections. But we all believed that we had enormous talent. I mean, that was the big differentiator against the BJP. But when you allow people to leave and you are like, you know, they're leaving, it's okay. I think that's a terrible approach to have because it makes you complacent. Because yes, there is no denying you still have people like Mr. Dev, you still have a Sachin and a Gehlot and other people in Rajasthan. So it's good to have a problem of plenty. But if you begin to disrespect them, at some point they walk away. And that's how today I think the BJP is beginning to neutralize that advantage that the Congress has had.
But the Congress will turn around and say Sachin Pilot was made an MP in his 20s, became a minister also in his late 20s, early 30s. I mean, he's had his due. You know, the Congress party believes that you have to wait your turn. You can't get it overnight.
Rajdeep, can I tell you something? The world has changed. If you ask me, people like us have become older, but when people call me a very young man in politics, I'm almost amused because I believe the politics of the country must represent the demography of India. And I do feel that if you're 35 and you're good to be a prime minister, why not? There's a logic of why 25 years is the year to become a member of parliament in the Lok Sabha, which means you're fit to be even a prime minister if required. So I think we are just being very stuck up on these age-old paradigms. The Congress needs to basically be less fossilized and become a more radical, bold, decision-making party.
Can I just take what you are to Javed Ansari? Let's call a spade a spade. Is the problem the elephant in the room again, Rahul Gandhi? You see, the fact is the entire focus of the Congress at the moment seems to be in and around Rahul Gandhi and those close to Rahul Gandhi. Therefore, many of these state issues have been let to fester. And you don't have an Ahmed Patel or a strong person who's a backroom operator who can put all this together. Do you believe that that's really the problem? The problem that the Congress simply doesn't have the kind of political managers to handle these faction fights and a strong, charismatic leader who can bring in the votes.
Look, all of that you say is true, partly true. But it's very easy to blame it all on just Rahul Gandhi or on the fact that just because Ahmed Patel is not here, Ahmed Bhai was we all know he was a very capable person. But even when he was around, these problems existed. And what's new in Congress projecting its own leader? In the BJP, is anybody else projected except a certain gentleman? I mean, what's new? Most parties project their own leader. The fact is that it is not working.
Yes, but the BJP has political managers who are able to handle these situations and they are in power in the center. So they know how to distribute the benefits of power. Today, the Congress is not in power in the center. How do you distribute?
So that is what provides them heft. That's what makes their job a lot easier. When the Congress go back a few years, when the Congress was in power, they used to manage these contradictions. Now they don't have enough goodies to give out. And the fact is that because the Congress leadership is weak, they are not winning elections. They have to win elections. The party must believe that our leadership can make or mar our future, and therefore then the respect and then their writ will run.
T.S. Singh Deo, do you agree somewhere in that the problem seems to be at the moment that the Congress party simply doesn't have the power at the center to distribute the goodies, as the word used by Javed Ansari. Isko Rajya Sabha seat do, give someone else some kind of chairmanship. Now you can't accommodate all these conflicting interests. So the ambitions are clashing with each other.
Not quite so, Rajdeep ji. As far as states are concerned, where governments are there, and it is goodies we are talking about, you have many places where you can accommodate people. We are not looking at being accommodated in the center when we are talking about state politics. When you're talking about national politics, then things like Raj Sabha or maybe members of commissions, etc., that could count. But in reference to states and in reference to states where the Congress is in power, that would not apply. You have
So what would your advice be to a Sachin Pilot? What would your advice, Mr. T.S. Singh Deo? Does he wait it out like you? You've been extremely patient. Should he have just been patient and waited it out? Or should he be someone who would say, no, I demand that I also be projected as a future chief minister?
He's different. I am different. But then again, age is on his side. And I would advise him, I have advised him in a phone conversation. We keep in touch once in a while. I did tell him that you have age on your side. Don't hurry up taking any such decision. And I would only expect maybe a youngster with the dash and with a base on the ground to be a little more patient, and don't let these tight situations. I know what is happening in Rajasthan. I've been there twice for Rajya Sabha elections. And even otherwise, we know what happens in politics sometimes. So he has time on his side. So patience will give him dividends. He should not allow others the opportunity to put him down politically.
Anil Antony, the word used there by T.S. Singh Deo was patience. is part of the problem that your generation lacks patience. Your generation meaning those in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and then you end up making ideological shifts. One day with the Congress, another day you do a complete U-turn and join the BJP. Shashi Tharoor, senior Thiruvananthapuram MP, has said that it's one thing to be frustrated, it's another thing then to switch straight away from Congress to BJP overnight. Mr. Pilot so far has stayed away, it seems, from the BJP. You went to the BJP, the party that your father and others said was a non-secular communal party. Is it that many of you feel because you're not getting your breaks, you feel suffocated, you've decided to join the BJP because that is the rising sun?
See, I did not join the BJP because I was feeling suffocated. I resigned from the Congress party because I felt, and I absolutely believed, that in the last 2-3 years, the Congress party had been taking several stances where I believe that they were compromising the broader interest of the country, the core interest of the country, and the people's interest for certain short-term political expediencies. And a particular scenario came, which was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, where I felt that again, this was a scenario which was similar, where once again we are compromising our country's sovereignty as well as integrity for political expediency. I resigned from the party. I thought about it for 2-3 months. I have been thinking about my future plans for the last 2-3 months, and I came to a conclusion, a very, very clear conclusion and a realization that at this moment, the Bharatiya Janata Party, led by Prime Minister Modi ji, is the only party in this country with a nationalistic and a national vision, with a national presence, which has a long-term vision, a clear vision and a direction to take this country forward.
Would you, Mr. T.S. Singhdeo, ever switch from the Congress to the BJP? Assume you're not made the Chief Minister and the elections come in Chhattisgarh, Mr. Baghel continues. Would you say enough is enough? I'm joining the BJP. Is that possible?
Even if they made me the Prime Minister, I wouldn't, Rajdeep.
Even if they make you the Prime Minister of the country, you will not join the BJP?
Ever.
Okay, that's interesting. Here is finally a leader from the Congress making it clear. So you're very clear that this battle that even if you have a battle at one level with the Chief Minister, with Mr. Baghel, that will not lead you to switch sides.
Never, never.
Well, we don't know how many leaders are out there like you, Mr. T.S. Singhdeo, but clearly that is a true old-style congressman speaking who says he will not leave come what may. Final word, Javed Ansari, what do you think will happen to Sachin Pilot? Do you think he will leave the party? Does he have an option or will he stay on?
Well, difficult choice for him. If he leaves, what will he do? There is talk that he might tie up, if he does leave, if he decides to bite the bullet, he might then tie up, form a third force with Mr. Beniwal and Mr. Maderna. But I do believe that he will heed...
And the Aam Aadmi Party.
Mr. Singhdew's advice and stay in the Congress, because he is a part of the future of the Congress party. And hats off to Mr. Singhdeo. I wish there were more congressmen and women like him.
You're saying that he's the future of the Congress. A quick final word,
he is
Sanjay.
a part of the future of the Congress
You're
party.
saying he's part of the future, but Sanjay Jha, there is a belief that the future revolves around the Gandhi family. So Sachin Pilot may, perhaps according to many, be even more talented than Rahul Gandhi, but he must wait his turn.
Rajdeep, 2 very short points. I can tell you with a reasonable confidence that Sachin Pilot is not joining the BJP, number one. Number two, and this is also important, the Congress party actually has a very straightforward decision to take. Is the future of Rajasthan to be led by Mr. Gehlot? Forget his age, etc. He's been Chief Minister 3 times already. Or do you now give an opportunity to a Sachin Pilot, who, as Javed correctly said, should have been probably in the job 5 years ago? Do you now let him lead the charge? It's a very straightforward answer. And the answer points towards Sachin Pilot. You invest in the future. You give a chance to somebody who is definitely going to be a face for a long time to come, not just in the state, but in the center. So it's an easy decision to take.
Okay.
I think just by not taking it, the Congress has only aggravated its own problems.
Okay, let's leave it there. Clearly, Sachin Pilot versus Ashok Gehlot is a long-running serial in Rajasthan, but it reflects perhaps it's symbolic of the deeper crisis that a weak high command is facing, where it is unable to resolve factional struggles. On that note, Javed Ansari, T.S. Singhdev, Sanjay Jha and Anil Antony appreciate your joining me here on the news today. Let's turn to the other story that's breaking at the moment, the battle for Karnataka, where the BJP has finally released a list of 189 candidates. Chief Minister Bommai will contest from Shigaon, which he's contested in before. 52 new faces in the BJP's first candidate list. So effectively, 1 in every 4 or more than that is a new candidate. 32 OBCs among that list. But the big news is a generational change. Former Chief Minister Jagdish Shettar is among those who's been denied a ticket, as has been the strongman Ishwarappa. So clearly we have a new generation in a way emerging in the BJP. Let's listen into Jagdish Shettar, who's already spoken out on not being allowed to contest this election.
ಮತ್ತು ನೂರಾರು ಜನರಿಗೆ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನು ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 6 ಸಲ ನಾನು ಆರಿಸಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಲ 25,000 ಮತಗಳ ಅಂತರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಗೆದ್ದು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ನಿಲ್ಲಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಏನು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನು ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಕಾರಣ ಏನು, ನನ್ನ ಮೈನಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು, ಅಥವಾ ಸರ್ವೇದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸರ್ವೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಕ್ಕೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸರ್ವೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಸರ್ವೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟು 70% ಅಷ್ಟು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆದಂಥ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ ಬಂದದ.
Okay, so Jagdish Shettar hinting possibly at striking out against the party. Paulomi Saha and Sagai Raj are joining me, one from Bengaluru's Paulomi here in New Delhi. Paulomi, you track the BJP. What's the big message that's coming out from this list? Is it, as some are suggesting, a generational change and a lot of sitting MLAs being dropped?
Absolutely, Rajdeep. That's the big message. That's the big headline, which is, of course, evident from this first list of 189 candidates that the BJP and its Karnataka in charge right now, Mr. Arun Singh, is announcing a huge shift in terms of the generational shift that you're talking about. Fresh new faces, 52 new faces in this list of 189 who've been given tickets, which means that a lot of sitting MLAs have been dropped. We are awaiting that number after we, of course, hear from Mr. Arun Singh in terms of the constituencies that they're announcing at the moment. He's going one by one. Of course, he's announced that Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai will be contesting from his sitting seat of Shigaon. We have to wait and see who are the others who've, found a place in this list of the Bharatiya Janata Party. The BJP, of course, saying that we focused on youthfulness, on freshness, on fresh ideas. We want the party to be taken forward, and that is the big gamble, if you may, that the BJP has taken with this first list, Rajdeep, of 189.
Effectively, it means that the BJP is admitting, some would say, to some element of local anti-incumbency, which is why so many candidates are being changed. Am I right, Sagai, that is the BJP, as Paulomi said, taking a gamble? Are they worried? Are there any signs of dissension in the BJP? We've heard from Jagdish Shettar. Could some of them actually contest against the party, or is this simply the BJP saying the old guard of people around Mr. Yadurappa have had their time, we are going in for young faces?
BJP is experimenting something which they have done in Gujarat, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Probably they have been successful in those places, but the political dynamics is totally different from those states to Karnataka. Whether they'll be successful in implementing the similar kind of experiment which they have done in those states is a big question. And talking about the revolt, yes, as you rightly pointed out, Jagdish Shettar has spoken against the party, and we have already seen the former Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, Lakshman Saudi, has openly said that he might contest as an independent candidate if the High Command doesn't listen to them. And remember, Rajdeep, yesterday, abruptly, B.S. Yadurappa has landed in Bengaluru last night when the meeting was still on, when the senior leaders were still there. And remember, almost all the MLAs, most of them are behind B.S. Yadurappa to get the ticket. And he was the main force, was pushing High Command to issue the tickets. And
so you're saying that the Yadurappa, in a way, is fighting his last battle, and he is trying to push for a maximum number of candidates of his. The High Command has drawn a line and said they want to give new faces. So BJP clearly facing a big battle within there in Karnataka. Sagai Raj and Paulomi with those details on the breaking news. Now, that's one war. The other war is the milk war that continues to simmer in Karnataka. After the Congress red flagged Amul's foray into the state, saying it would impact their homegrown brand, milk brand Nandini, the BJP has gone on the offensive, accusing the former Congress Chief Minister Sitharaman of bringing in Amul into Karnataka in 2017. Why are the two parties fighting over an iconic Indian brand? Take a look.
A ubiquitous brand seasoned by the tongue-in-cheek take of its ads. Another champion in the sector with a loyal consumer recall and base, a market leader in Karnataka.
Nandini, Nan energy drink.
Nandini, power-packed milk.
The Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation's Amul attempted entry into the state to supply milk and curd has left its dairy market and politics on the boil.
This is really the most famous local brand when it comes to milk and milk products in the state of Karnataka, and really something very sensitive also has become now a huge political issue right at a time of elections here in the state.
With elections just a month away, the opposition has invoked Kannadiga pride over the homegrown brand, accusing the ruling BJP of serving the interests of Gujarat-based businesses, with the sole aim to eventually merge Karnataka's Nandini into Amul.
नंदनी जो है उसको जबरन खत्म करके गुजरात की अमूल को भी हम सम्मान करते हैं, पर नंदनी को खत्म करके आप अमूल को ला रहे हैं, ये सरासर गलत है.
The issue seems to have struck chord with the locals, given their sentimental attachment with the half-century-old Nandini. The opposition has accused the state government of using unfair means against the protesters.
ನಾನು ಬಹಳ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಹಾಸನ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರು ಬಹಳ ಸದೃಢವಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಯ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯವನ್ನು ಪಡೆದು ಜನಾಭಿಪ್ರಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಮಣಿಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ. ಜನತೆಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಏನಿದೆ, ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ತಲೆಬಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸುಗಮವಾಗಿ ಚುನಾವಣೆ ನಡೀತದೆ.
The BJP has dismissed opposition accusations as false propaganda. The ruling party insists there are no plans to merge Nandini and Amul, and that it always stood beside farmers and livestock breeders of the state.
ತಾಯಂದಿರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಯಾರು? ನಮ್ಮ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರ ಅಥವಾ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಅವರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ? ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಗೋಹತ್ಯೆ ನಿಷೇಧ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಅಂದರೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಗೋ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಲು ಕೊಡೋ ಗೋ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ತಿನ್ನೋರ ಓಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು.
A look at the scale of its operations shows Amul beats Nandini at the national level, but Nandini dominates Karnataka's market completely. Nandini's products are far cheaper than Amul's. If Amul sells 1 litre of toned milk at ₹54 in Delhi, Nandini's price is nearly ₹11 lower in Bengaluru, for instance. Amul MD Jayan Mehta, in an exclusive interview to India Today, claimed the Gujarat brand is not competing with Nandini for market share.
It's been wrongly portrayed as Amul is working against Nandini. It's never been Amul versus Nandini. It's always been Amul and Nandini together. Both as cooperatives, we are owned by the farmers. We work with the same values, mission, and the model. And together, for decades, we've been working together.
BJP has replied saying that even if Amul comes here or if any other tough competitor from any other land comes down to Karnataka, Nandini is strong enough to give a tough competitor and it will always continue to be the #1 brand of Kannadigas, is how the current dispensation has responded.
Business competition aside, politics has gathered steam over the two dairy brands in the run up to the state elections. With Nabila Jamal and Anagha, Bureau Report, India Today.
And earlier today, I spoke to Jayan Mehta, the MD of Amul, and I began by asking him, Mr. Mehta, are you surprised, possibly even shocked by the manner in which you, Amul, an iconic brand, find yourself in the midst of a political battle today between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the reaction, the backlash to your decision to enter Bengaluru to sell milk and curd?
It's been wrongly portrayed as Amul is working against Nandini. It's never been Amul versus Nandini. It's always been Amul and Nandini together. Both as cooperatives, we are owned by the farmers. We work with the same values, mission, and the model. And together, for decades, we've been working together to build not just our respective states, but India also is the largest producer of milk in the world.
But then how
so
do
the
you
backlash
explain?
from the customers,
how do you explain?
From the
how do you explain then this backlash, Mr. Mehta? How do you explain hashtag Go Back Amul, Save Nandini, the strong political comments being made by the Congress against you? How do you explain the fact that you find yourself in the midst of an acrimonious political battle, being accused in a way of entering Karnataka to finish the Nandini brand according to the Congress?
So it's actually wrong information being spread for Amul as well as the relationship we enjoy with Nandini, and that's what has caused all this. But that's why if we can talk about the facts about the relationship we enjoy and the cooperation we've been doing, actually it will solve most of the problems. Fact number one, our entry into Karnataka fresh milk market is not new. In North Karnataka, Hubli, Belgaum, we've been selling Amul milk and dahi and buttermilk since 2015-16. So the entry into Bangalore only with a limited purpose of selling our products at our prices only through e-commerce channel can actually do nothing to Nandini. And the managing director of Nandini also has admitted that Amul cannot make any dent in Nandini's business in the Bangalore market. Second, Amul continues to make ice creams using Karnataka Nandini's milk, using their plants and facilities. And we've been doing this since 1998. Yesterday also 30,000 liters of ice cream was packed at 3 of their plants and sold in Karnataka and rest of South India. So this is what a relationship we enjoy of working together. Not only on this, during COVID 2021, when there was huge glut of milk, no demand of milk and dairy products, we processed almost 2 lakh equivalent of milk into cheese at their factories there in Karnataka, and we bought that cheese and used it for us. I can talk about number of instances in which we both as cooperatives have been working closely with each other for the benefit of the farmers of Karnataka, and I'm sure we'll continue to do so in future. I cannot comment on the criticism because those people who are trolling us or participating in these hashtag movements are perhaps our customers, if not currently the potential ones. So I'll not get into that space of the debate which is happening, but we as Amul are very clear that as a cooperative, we will never ever think of hurting the farmers of Karnataka, of Nandini as a brand, and together, two cooperatives brand will keep the private and the multinationals out.
You know, I think the concern though, Mr. Mehta, is that there is wide speculation that the Karnataka Milk Federation and the cooperatives at some stage in the future could merge with Amul. And this is what it's based on what Corporation Minister, also the Home Minister, Amit Shah said in October 22. He said in Guwahati, Mr. Mehta, and I quote now, the process to form a multi-state cooperative society by merging Amul and 5 other cooperative societies has been started. This has led many to believe that an Amul-Nandini merger in Karnataka could be an offshoot of this announcement.
Sir, we are both cooperative societies registered under our respective state cooperative acts. So there is no question of merger of these two cooperatives per se. Talking about this statement of the new multi-state cooperative societies, sir, I'm happy to say that there are 3 new multi-state cooperatives which have been set up recently. There is one multi-state cooperative on exports, the another is multi-state cooperative on organics, and the third is on seeds. And I'm happy that Amul, along with 4 or 5 other top cooperatives of the country, IFCO, CRIPCO, NCDC, NAFED, NDDB, National Consumer Cooperative Federation, all between 6-7 of us, we are incubating these 3 new multi-state cooperatives. So any product, any cooperative makes in India, this new one multi-state cooperative will export it across the world. The second is on organics, means any organic producer in the country, as an individual or as a cooperative, whatever products he makes, this another multi-state cooperative on organics will find a market for the same, and that marketing job will be done by us at Amul. And third, any farmer across any village of the country wants a certified seed, the new multi-state cooperative on seeds will provide that. So what Honorable Home Minister said is actually been translated into these 3 new multi-state cooperative societies promoted by Amul and few others, and that has already taken shape. So that's where we are currently. Amul continues to exist independently as much as Nandini does, and will continue to do so. But these new multi-state cooperatives in which we are promoters and shareholders will invite membership from across the country, and together these new cooperatives will work for the betterment of our farmers. If you heard the Honorable Finance Minister in the last budget speech, she said very clearly that cooperative has been identified as a tool of development for small and marginal section. So there is a huge tailwind for the cooperative sector with the support given across all, and these new 3 cooperatives also will take this movement further. And one more thing, sir, I may add, since we are discussing this, in India, over the last 50 years, India has about 2 lakh village dairy cooperative societies out of the 7 lakh villages. And in the next 5 years, another 2 lakh village dairy cooperative societies will be formed. So what happened in the last 50 years will happen in the next 5 years. And you can see the great boost the cooperative sector will get. And all the farmers associated, be it agriculture or dairying, will get a huge benefit out of this movement.
So from what you're saying, and particularly what you said at the very outset, Mr. Mehta, let me get it in conclusion. You are telling me, irrespective of this political reaction, whichever government comes to power in Karnataka a month from now, Amul is going to enter the Karnataka market fully. You are entering Bengaluru, irrespective of what happens in next month's election. Am I correct?
Yes, of course, because the Honorable Chief Minister himself said that Amul is welcome into Karnataka, and Nandini also accepts that Amul is not going to hurt it anyway. So, I mean, our intentions are fair. Our activities of aligning with Karnataka Milk Federation and its farmers are very, very transparent and very positive. And obviously, the same relationship will continue. And obviously, Amul products will be available to the citizens of Bangalore and other markets of North Karnataka, where we've been selling since 2015. We'll continue this relationship.
So even if there is a Congress government, because the Congress is claiming you're entering Karnataka as a hostile force, even if there is a Congress government, you will continue to spread in Karnataka and be there along with Nandini. Am I correct?
I cannot talk about the election results or the political environment, but fact remains that every single state of the country, irrespective of whatever government is there, Amul continues to exist and coexist with the respective brands of the respective states. Okay. So I see no reason in saying that irrespective of whatever happens, Amul will be there to serve the interests of the consumers of Karnataka and the farmers of the Karnataka state.
Okay, let's leave it there, Mr. Mehta. I'm glad to see Varghese Kurian, the founder of Amul, there in that picture behind you. That's a good sign of continuity. Appreciate your joining us and setting the record straight on the Amul versus Nandini battle. Let's take a break at this point. When we return, our good news today's story. And it comes from Prayagraj, that is from Allahabad. Back in a moment. You're watching the news today. News without the noise. Let's turn first to our Get Real India story now, which comes from Chhattisgarh's Bemitara district. It remains tense as 2 more dead bodies have been found amidst the communal clashes that followed Ram Navami a few days ago. Remember, Bemitara emerged as this hotspot of violence after 23-year-old Bhuneshwar Sahu was killed over a heated argument. It's tonight's ground report.
Chhattisgarh is on the edge. Days after a 23-year-old man was killed in a communal clash in Bhiranpur village in Bemitara district, 2 people with head injuries were found dead in Korve village in the same district.
आप ये कह रहे हैं आप लाश को उठने नहीं देंगे, अंतिम संस्कार होने नहीं देंगे, इसकी क्या वजह है?
क्योंकि सरकार उनके निर्णय लिया है, तो हमारे उपस्थिति में सरकार क्या कर रहा है, हमको यही जानकारी लेना है।
गवर्नमेंट से आपकी क्या डिमांड है?
गवर्नमेंट हमको इंसाफ चाहिए, कुछ नहीं चाहिए मैडम हम लोग को। भाई जैसा हमारे आदमी को उठा रहा है वैसा उनको भी उठाना चाहिए साथ साथ।
11 लोग जो अरेस्ट किए गए हैं, 11-12 वो सब मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी से
आदमी को उठा के लेके गया है, तो उनका कमेटी आदमी क्यों उठा रहा है मीडिया पुलिस वाले? हम लोग को यही चाहिए, उनको भी आदमी उठना चाहिए भी साथ साथ, तब तो शांत होगा दंगा तुम्हारा।
Some intercaste marriages that happened in a few months back in Korve seem to have created a rift between Hindu and Muslim communities.
Now, the entire district has been under a strong curfew. This is the day 3 after 8th of April, after the killing of Bhuneshwar Sahu. Still, the tension remains the same. And right now, what you see around me is the heavy police deployment that is just getting increased. On day 1, 400 police personnel were present here. However, the number of police personnel is constantly increasing, with 700 to now more than 1,000.
Bhuneshwar Sahu was killed and 3 policemen were injured on Saturday in a communal flare-up triggered by a fight between 2 children. Sahu's father has alleged that the police didn't come forward to help his son.
पुलिस ने ज्यादा पूछताछ नहीं की। अगर पुलिस पूछताछ करती तो फिर आपको लगता है कि घटना वो हो सकती थी?
नहीं होती थी। अगर नहीं होती थी, अगर पुलिस पूछती, किसी को नहीं पूछा।
Chhattisgarh Chief Minister has announced 10 lakh rupees and a government job for Sahu's family. The murder has added to communal tensions. Right-wing Hindu groups had observed a bandh in the state on Monday. With Sumi Rajapan in Bemitara, Bureau Report, India Today.
Troubling story there from Chhattisgarh. My good news today story, a group of slum dwellers in Prayagraj have started their own tiffin service. The initiative has become a big hit with more and more women chipping in. It's tonight's good news today story.
They may not have the necessary resources. They may not have the finances. But where there is a will, there is a way. These super women living in a slum in UP's Prayagraj have commenced their own tiffin service. For 50 rupees, you can get a piping hot meal of dal, chawal, roti, sabzi and salad.
टिफिन सर्विस के काम हम लोग अब खाना बनाने लगे हैं। खाना यहाँ अच्छा लगता है और वहाँ काम करने झाड़ू पोछा जाते थे तो 4 बात सुननी पड़ती, कभी लड़का बीमार हो गया, आज नहीं आएंगे, क्यों नहीं आओगी, पैसा काट लेंगे, पैसा नहीं देंगे। अब यहाँ है तो अच्छा लगता है, आपको खर्चा भी निकल आता है हम लोग को।
Their daughters also chip in after school, helping in packing food and of course spreading the word on their mother's amazing service. Several other girls also help in any way they can. The tiffin service has now become a community affair.
मेरे बस्ती के लोग बहुत सब चूल्हा बर्तन करते हैं। मेरी मम्मी भी चूल्हा बर्तन करने जाती हैं। मैं यहाँ पर शुरुआत में खाना भी बनाती हूँ, मैं पढ़ती भी हूँ और इससे मेरा खर्चा भी निकल जाता है, इससे मेरे परिवार भी खुश है।
So who's the motivator? Who push these women to pursue their passion and earn a buck or two? Meet Abhishek. He teaches the children of this slum and decided to help out these ladies to become self-reliant.
हम लोग पिछले 7 वर्षों से जो स्लम की बच्चियां होते हैं, बच्चे होते हैं, उनको शिक्षित करने का काम कर रहे हैं और इसके साथ साथ में हम उन्हें स्वावलंबी बनाने के लिए लगातार प्रयास कर रहे थे। तो उसी दौरान हमें पता चला कि जो यहाँ की महिलाएं होती हैं उनके अंदर प्रतिभा तो बहुत होता है, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं उसको सही प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं मिल पा रहा है। तो उनसे बात करके हमने एक टिफ़िन सर्विस की शुरुआत की।
These women have now transformed their families' lives, bringing in money to feed everyone at home. With Pankaj Srivastav in Prayagraj, Bureau Report, India Today.
Nice, good news story. Our image of the day, India Today and Aaj Tak News Director Rahul Gandhi won the All India Management Association Managing India Awards for outstanding contribution to media. We leave you with that image and hope you keep watching. Thanks very much. Good night. Goodbye.
Director, India Today.
Namaskar.
Thank you, Ms. Berry. Congratulations, Mr. Kamal.